Okay, before I gush about how fantastic the Leadership Institute is, I want to tell y'all a little story. So Claire and her husband Dave were city slickers, born and raised, but had an affinity for the hill country. And they visited often, attracted by the slower pace of life, the starry skies, and the lack of noise and chaos. Every time they'd leave to go back to their city, they'd wonder how they could make it work. And after a few years, they made it happen. They left the noise, the traffic, that hurried life, and they planted themselves in the hill country. But they were still the same people, only now they were in a new place with no connections, and they wanted more. What they found is belonging doesn't magically happen, even in our wonderful Texas hill country. Then one day, they received a letter in the mail. It was an invitation to a city meeting, a town hall, but not at City Hall. It was in a community center. I'm sorry, not in a community center. It was in their neighbor's front yard. Little intrigued, but they took their lawn chairs over, walked across, met some neighbors, learned history of the town, learned stories from people that had been there for generations. And they met Bill, a city councilman, and Bill asked them why they moved to the hill country and what they hoped to get out of their time there. And Claire shared that she had a desire to be more involved, didn't really know how, but she loved the small town atmosphere that everyone does. Her dad was in real estate, so she grew up having discussions about proper growth of cities. Bill said he also worked in real estate. They agreed to get coffee soon, but Bill asked her, start thinking about specifically how you want to be involved and check out our city website and our boards and commissions. So later that week over coffee, Bill asked her what she'd found. Claire's eyes lit up when she told him about her love of the outdoors and a passion for giving children safe places to play. Bill eagerly thought of some key openings on the Parks and Rec Board newly formed and urged her to apply. Fast forward 6 months later, and Claire and Dave have built solid relationships with people all across the city. She's on the Parks and Rec Board, and the Hill Country has become more than just a place to live, but a place to invest in and a place to belong. I'll bet each of us knows a Claire. Maybe it's you. As you think back to your own journeys to leadership, to getting here, think of the people along the way that helped you feel like you belong in the Hill Country. And go be that person for someone else. Find someone who isn't represented in leadership, ask them to coffee. Learn about their vision for their community, how they see themselves fitting in. Be the bridge for people who aren't plugged in, who might need that invitation to go from someone living here to someone belonging here. Because what happens if we don't? We stand to lose what made people come here in the first place. So over the past year in the Leadership Institute cohort, I've seen how what started as little nudges to get involved, to belong, have brought people together in a big way. We have shared interests, very diverse ideas, and we each bring back these ideas to our own communities. We can work together as a region to influence policy at the state and federal levels. In Fredericksburg, we've been working on our comprehensive plan. We are going to incorporate low-impact development, new ways of zoning, model ordinances that were in the Alliance's Leading by Example report and from presenters that we got to hear from. On a personal note, this cohort has helped me learn more about our natural resources, ways to manage growth, given inspiration for what is possible, what we can require of developers, and ways to make cities less car-centric and more people-focused. The access to experts is invaluable. Everyone should apply. Every session is kind of like this, just on a very small level. So, as to the first year of our Leadership Institute coming to an end, we're celebrating nearly 20 years of the Alliance. I want to share with you what gives me hope. Picture this: years of continued success thanks to each one of you in this room, and we have a new room full of Claires and Bills, bringing new ideas to preserve the Texas Hill Country, resources and character, keeping this a place worth belonging to. Thank you.